I wanted to hop on here and just give you a little a practice that I'm playing with this morning. I am going to give you a little bit of time to get here for whoever might join me in, but I think this could be really fun for you if you're um, struggling or challenged with wet in wet. I think this could be really fun. So I'm just going to give you a minute here to get started. And let me adjust my camera. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be using just for reference, I'm going to be using my 8 brush. I'm going to either use my Princeton Velvet Touch or maybe my brush. Okay. So I wanted to help you with some of this wet on wet practice. I think it's so valuable, and I feel like I talk about it a lot because I feel like if I could help you get that wet in wet feel for how much water should be on your, hi Julie, how much water should be on your brush, it's going to be such a help. And by the way, while we're kind of playing here and waiting for people, let me see, today is Wednesday. Friday, I have a $22.50 very small class. I'd love to keep it to maybe 10 people at the very most. I'm going to be showing you various ways to do wet in wet, and we'll be doing these little roses. So I hope to see some of you there because I think it's going to be really fun. I always like engaging with you guys. Let me turn on my light here. There we go. Let there be light. Okay. So Julie, I have a great little practice for you. There's similar practices out there. I'm going to scoot up so you're not looking at my shirt there. So I've got my water here. I've got some paper towel. And today I'm using, this is the MEEDEN cold pressed paper. So I'm going to be using that. What I want to share with you today is a fun little practice. Here's a picture of it. I think this is so good for you. Hey, Penny, good to see you. We're going to paint these little diamonds because, again, I feel like if you could get that feel for water control, you guys, everything else is going to be cakewalk. I really mean that. Hey, Kathleen. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just, for reference, I'm using my Paul Rubens, the student palette, and I'm just going to give them a little spritz here. I hope you'll join me or maybe watch this later and join me because I'm telling you guys, if you can get this part down, the brush strokes and everything else, you guys, cakewalk, I promise you, if you can get the feeling for your brushes and how much water to use, you're going to be so ahead of the game. Hey, Tina. So I am wetting my brush. Here's another little thing to keep in mind. If you are using a snappy, what they call a snappy brush like me, which just means it's pretty firm, look at that, and it snaps right back into shape, I'm going to be picking up less water. So just to keep that in mind, because I had a few of you discover you had like a really soft brush like this Neptune. And these things, the softer the brush, the more water you're going to pick up. So if you see me kind of dabbing off my brush and you're like, I'm doing that, but why do I have so much water in my brush? It's, hey, Kathleen, did I say hi to you? You're going to have to tap off your brush more than me because your brush is softer and it's soaking it up. So just something to keep in mind. So I am going into my water here. I'm just wetting my brush and then I'm going to scrape it off here because I don't want a ton of water. I'm next, and this is a practice I'm going to show you for those of you that maybe missed this in the beginning. Hey, Pat. We're going to practice this because, again, I feel like, and it's why I talk about this all the time, I feel like if you can get the feel for water control, everything else is going to be awesome. And once you can control that, you're going to do so great. So let's go ahead and go into our paint here. Let's turn my page this way so I can fit my paints. And I was also saying this, this Friday, I'm going to do a class on 3 different ways to kind of create those loose florals by softening the edges, by wetting the petals first, and then wet page and painting on it. So those are a couple fun techniques that you guys might like. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Lavender Butterfly. Oh, what a great name, Lavender Butterfly. Oh, good. You know what? Do not give up. Just play. Hi, Rosangela. Yeah, I know. Isn't that pretty? Of course, my water's always pink. Well, you are in the right place, Lavender. We're all going to support you and help you out here. All right, so I was saying water control, so important. So let's get a little bit of our paint. I'm just going to use that beautiful pink color, and I'm going to put it in my palette here. Look at that, so vibrant. Just about 50-50, 50 paint, 50 water. Now again, if you're using a softer brush, you know, like the the Neptune, that has really big soft bristles, you are going to have to tap off your brush more than me. I've got this snappier brush like a Velvet Touch, and these are my brushes, which they're sold out, but okay. Let's go in, and we want to work kind of fast here. So make sure to have your paints ready to go. And that way you can go into them. All right. So I have got, first off, let's just do this. Let's create this values, because that is also a huge exercise in controlling the water. So we've got this really dark value here, right? Look at how crazy saturated that is. That's like almost 100% water or pigment. I'm going to wet my brush. Let me show you. Scrape it off a bit. Hi, Brush Serenity. Look at these wonderful names you guys have. My goodness. I'm so glad you're getting inspired, Brush Serenity. How funny is that? You guys all have these wonderful names. So I put some water in here, and now I'm going to create like a mid value. So there we go. Total water control here, guys. I took my brush and I scraped it off. So we've got that lighter value. This is really important, because if this was a petal, this is how you'd want to do it. Now, if I take my brush and water again, scrape it off. So I just gave it a good little swish. Now, look at how light. So practice this, number 1, over and over and over. Hi, Coda. Yes, exactly, Julie. You guys are so awesome as supporters for everybody. Okay, let's get into the fun place. Hi, B. Kerhoff. Oh my gosh, you made my day today, Brush Serenity. Wow, wow, wow. So this is a really good exercise for water control and values. In your paintings, you always want to make sure you have at least 3 values of your colors. But let's get to the fun part here, where we're playing with these. Okay, so we're going to start with the darkest value. And here we go. I have put some paint on my brush. I then went into here, tapped it off. Now you can either tap, tap, tap on there, or you can tap on here, and look at all that. That was a ton of water in my brush. You don't want to go to especially a wet surface with that much water, because it's going to go whoo, and you're going to be like, oh my God, what just happened? Hi, Erna. Hi. I hope I'm saying your name right. Nami. Hi, Gina and Betty from South Louisiana. Okay. Oh, that's good to hear, Gina. So let's create, I've picked up my paint, tap, 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 or tap on your paper towel, and let's just point a triangle. And I'm going to move a little bit fast here, because we want to see how the water and the paints kind of blend together. So here is a triangle. There we go. Now, while that is still wet, and no puddles, guys, notice that. Work, when you're practicing, work to be able to paint a circle, a triangle, a square with no puddles. Just this beautiful, shiny surface. Hi, Vaiti, Rosemarie. Okay, so now I'm washing off my brush. Here, let me show you. Washing off my brush, scraping it off. Now again, if you have a softer brush, you're gonna have to get more of that off. And I'm going to touch into this with just water, no puddles. Look at that. Okay, so look at how that blended in there. That's what you want. Now let's go in with maybe a blue. Let me grab a blue here. Put it in my palette again, about 50-50. Tap it off or tap on your paper towel. And let's go in next to this. Now you have to work fast because once it dries, you're not going to get that beautiful blend. And this is a great, again, exercise in learning how to create just that shiny surface. Not, and then I'm rinsing off my brush, by the way, and I know I'm going fast here, but that's really important with learning water control and wet. Now this might be a little dry, but let's encourage it to bleed. So see that? Now, see what's happening? I hope you can see what's happening right here. Let me lift this up. The water is going into a drier area, so it's going to push back and create a wall that comes out against the darker paint and is going to eventually do a bloom. So this is just water, and look at that fantastic, just shiny surface. Let's go into here, unless it got too dry. I'm going to go in with a yellow here. Here we go. So getting paint on my brush. Let's go in here, being careful because yellow is quite strong. And I'm going to go up. Now, because I'm kind of explaining this while I go, you know, this is drying a little bit quicker than I might like. So we're not quite getting the spread as I would if I was just working very spontaneously, but we're still getting that. Let's go into this one right here and go in with the red. So wash my brush, scrape it off, and let's go in here with red. Put some of that in my little palette here, about 50 pigment, 50 water. Scrape off or tap off on your paper towel. And let's go in here. And I kind of encourage that. But again, look at this. No puddles. Do this over and over because I promise you guys, I know I've had people when I say that, they're like, you can't promise people that. You know what? I'm going out on a limb here, you guys. I promise you, if you can create a glistening, shiny wash with no puddles, brush strokes and things are going to come to you. I promise you that. I really, really do. Hi, Rosemary. Sorry, mistake clearly explained. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Wildflower. It's always so fun to see you guys show up, people that I see in my, look at this, you guys, by the way. That is a perfect wash control, if I do say so myself. But you guys can do this. Now, let's go into this with just water. Damp brush, no puddles. Do this over and over until you get that feel and can create these glistening washes. And again, it's going to be different for what brush you use. Softer brush is going to get a ton more water. A snappier brush is going to have less water. Let's go in here with maybe, let's try, what color could we mix in here? Well, let's go with water. Look at that. No puddles. There you go. Do this over and over and over until you get the feel for this. And then what will happen is you will go in with your petals. So let's just do that. So point, I'm going to put a little bit more. Point, light pressure, open up my belly, come around for the perfect little petal. And now how you would use this is watch when I go next to that petal. So what, rinse my brush, wash, rinse my brush, tap it off. You can even, oh goodness, you guys, I just dumped all my paints. My gosh. Okay, so let's go in here just with water. Point. Now I'm going to go in. Hey, yeah, can you help me? I just knocked them all off with my elbow. Point, press. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful little petal? That is how you achieve. Thank you. I'm going to have to, oh my gosh, you guys, if you could see what just happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's the beauty of Alive, right, you guys? Look at that. Now, if you can go into the base of your petal with, let's go in with the yellow, because that's it. Now I don't have any paint. And tap in. Look at the beautiful blend, you guys. And this is the washi look. I know, Deborah, can you believe it? Thank you to my husband here. He's helping me, but he's bringing the paints up. Wait till you see them. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Look at this. Sheesh, you guys. I'm going to have to put them all back together. Is there another palette over there I can use? I think there's one in here. Hold on, guys. Sheesh. Thank you. I'm going to have to reorganize all those. Okay. So let's keep going here. But look how beautiful, you guys. Look at these washes, and you guys can do this. It's just a matter of being able to lay down your paint in a way, tap, 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 that is not puddling water. Point, press. Oop, now see, I didn't get quite enough paint there, so I got that dry brush. Point, open up my brush, come around. Now, really important with wet and wet, you guys. I'm going to rinse my brush, scrape it off. I can't believe I just did that. My goodness. And go in here with just water. Rub up against that and come on down. Look at that. Now let's go in with a little bit of blue because I've got that here. Tap, tap, tap. Let's go in next to this one. Point, press, and look at this beautiful wash. This is how you get the beautiful, soft, washy florals. That is so noticeable with watercolor. So in here, point, press. Look at that. That's what you want to practice here. Maybe going in there with a little green for the stem. No puddles. So practice this over and over, and then keep in mind, let me grab my paints. I knocked on the floor for the second time. So funny, I have never done that in years. What is going on? And practice this. You are going to be so excited when you learn how to do this. Let me show you with a leaf. Let's paint a leaf. So I'm going to grab my green because leaves are really pretty when you get washy. So I've got paint on here. Let me show you loading my brush so you really get that. Again, softer brush is going to grab a lot more water. I'm using a snappy brush. Tap, tap, tap. And let's do a leaf. So light pressure, almost holding my brush vertical. And by the way, another little tip, point the end of your brush in the direction you want your leaf to go. So if I'm trying to make my leaf come out this way, I don't want to be holding my brush like this because it's naturally going to go in that direction. So let's try that. Here is a stem. And now a little branch there. Now let's come on to that. Point, open my brush, pressure, compound stroke, up on the tip, back down. There's our leaf. Now, while that's wet, same as we did here, let's go in with maybe a little bit of blue. And go up next to that. Point, press. Ooh, look at that. Point, press, compound stroke, And look at that beautiful blend. Now let's go in with a little bit of water. Yes, I know I'm working fast because we want this to be damp. Let me get a little bit more water. Point, press, and we get that beautiful blend. I know it's really subtle here, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? Now let's go in with a dark value. Again, the value of learning water control. This is about probably 90% pigment, 10% water. This is about 50-50. This is just the opposite, about 80% water, 20% pigment. So let's go in here with a dark value. Let me see if I can get a dark value. Point, press. Let me get a little darker. Point, press, up on the point. There we go. So now we've got a darker value, which look at the beautiful, it created that glazing. So you can see right here a little bit of that blue peeking through. I know, Penny, right? Been painting you for years, but still practice them almost every day. They are therapeutic. Wildflower, I know, right? Gosh. That's so weird. I've never done that before. So let's try that again with some leaves. So I'm going to load my brush with my paint. And thank God my husband comes rushing in. Okay, so let's do a petal or a, oh, see, that's kind of cool too. A leaf. So point, press, open up my brush, up on the point, back down. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit more water to that, or paint to that, because I want to go next to it so you can see that blend. And this is what creates that washy, soft, beautiful floral look. Point, press, up on the tip, back down. Now let's go next to that with water. So I rinse my brush, scrape it off, and let's go next to this. Point, press, just like we did in this practice. Oh, look at that, you guys. Point, press. Isn't that beautiful? When you can do that, that is going to take you from beginner to like way ahead. And you guys are going to feel so good about what you're doing. Now I'll do one more here. We've done petals. Do this little practice. And I think hopefully this will give you something to play with today. So point, press, open that belly, up on the point, back down. Now I'm going to go in next to that, rinse my brush, pick up that blue. There we go. And let's go next to that. Point, press, just like with the triangles. Point, press. And look at that. That is a soft floral. That is that washy look you want to go. So I hope this was helpful. Make sure that you practice these. And you could do circles here. It really doesn't matter. But practice getting that nice washy look. Maybe at first you're just practicing getting that square wash with no puddles. So if I tilt my paper, nothing's dripping down. That is the first step. Practice that over and over and over. Once you get that, now you can practice combining another color maybe with that. Let's pick up some blue and going right next to that and pulling that down. But the key, you guys, is really, and I can encourage that a little. And now walk away, stop, but look at that beautiful wash. So you guys, I just can't say this enough. If you are really wanting to get good with watercolors, practice this. Brush strokes, you guys are gonna get. You're gonna get brush strokes. You're gonna eventually get composition. Practice this. Once you get this, you're going to be able to just feel so comfortable doing other things. So just circles, triangles, no puddles. That is the best exercise you can do. I'm gonna do this one more time. Rinse my brush, scrape it off. Go right up to that with the water. So this could be a leaf, this could be a petal, and leave it alone. Another key to achieving that washy, soft floral look, don't go back and keep reworking. Leave it just like that. Now let's go in. This is still shiny. If I work really quick, I can go next to that with another. Look how beautiful that blends. That is going to take your florals, your paintings to the next level versus how I can tell a beginner is this. Let me show you. So you're seeing this, which is this technique, water control. Watch if I paint a flower like this. Point, press. Sometimes this is even hard for me to do because I'm so used to doing it the other way. Point, press. And let's do another one here. Point, press. Okay, that's a nice flower, right? But let's take it to the next level. Point, press, wet brush. Maybe some of that blue. I gotta work fast here. Next to this one, point, press. Look at how much prettier that is. It just takes your painting to another level. So instead of using all one value, use different values. Practice the wet in wet. Do these little washes. Once you get this, I promise you guys, you will see your paintings and be like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I just painted that. Okay, I hope to see some of you in my class on Friday. I'm going to be going over not only this technique, but 3 different ways and just little tips and secrets to having your florals look that beautiful watercolor vibe, okay? All right, I will see you all soon. I would love to see your practices in this, and happy painting, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Brush Serenity, you're welcome. All right, everybody, I will see you all soon. Oh, thank you, Julie. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Kathleen. You guys are the best. Evangeline, so good to see you. Lavender Butterfly, Rosemarie. What time is the class? The class on Friday is going to be 9:30 Pacific Standard Time on Friday. I am looking at doing a Saturday class as well. So if that's something you guys are interested in, just let me know and I will arrange something like that. Okay, signing off. So much love to you. You guys are the best. You're so supportive to each other here, and let's just keep having fun. All right, I'll see you soon.